All right, guys, what is up? And welcome to round number 6 of the first ever Pro Play Tour. I cannot hold my hand up higher or have a thumb up anymore to get these guys to start. That's okay. They'll eventually see it. There they go. All right, so they're getting ready to start. Here they go. We have Mr. Anthony Hernandez. Might have heard of him. Might have not. Depends on when he started playing. If he started playing since he's been banned, you wouldn't know who he was. But I tell you what, Anthony Hernandez, the DBS god, one of the best players in the game, playing Hirudegarn on the left. And on the right, we have Michael Chavez on
PPG local, sure, actually. PPG local.
PPG local.
He's actually trained against a lot of us. Not intentionally, just playing in locals every day. He shows up to every Dragon Ball local. He's played against Marcel. He's played against Peter. He's played against myself. Very big advocate of the 1-2 Hirudegarn swap, and we're gonna see a mirror match.
I love that name. It's mirror match to see who makes it to the top 8. The winner
this is the winning.
Yeah, this is the winning. The winner gets to go to top 8
the
and
loser
compete for $2,000 worth of prizes.
The loser gets stream crushed.
Yeah, it's Dream Crushed live on every platform that you can. I mean, this might even be on, the local news. I don't know. It's that big of a deal, and you can tell by how into it George is. So we have a pretty cool mirror match. Now we have another special guest here. Now we wouldn't just have one special guest commentator for such an event as this. We have Mr. David Fujimura. Might have heard of him. Some people call him Mr. Fuji. Some people call him David Fujimura. Some people call him Mr. O2 Drop, the first ever PPG event. But I call him my friend. David, how's it going? What do you think about this matchup, the Storm Mirror?
This feels like a couple of months ago, but Hirudegarn's still a thing.
Absolutely. That was a good, deep analysis of this match. It's still a thing. I'm not sure how I can add any more to that discussion. It looks like Michael has a 50 life, though. 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah, very interesting. Now, here's a question I have about this matchup. Who's in favored? George, is it the person going first, or is it the person going second? We hear this quite a bit.
Man, I don't know too much. In this game, honestly, I don't see going first and second too much of a discrepancy unless you're playing cards like Objection or you're playing a leader like SS3, because those are abilities that put you ahead on energy, and if you're going first, you're already ahead on 1 energy, so now that puts you ahead like an extra energy. So to me, honestly, it really just 100% depends if you're playing some combination of those cards. But honestly, usually being able to attack first puts you a little bit farther ahead sometimes, especially getting that extra card, and with a Hirudegarn leader, being able to attack and instantly just fill up your drop area before your opponent. It's usually something that I like to be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, so guys, don't forget, you can let us know. You can talk to us on Twitch, on YouTube, or Facebook. We have it's streaming on all 3 platforms, so make sure that you ask us any questions you have on there. You can tag us at ProPlayGames on YouTube or at ProPlayGames Live on Twitch. Facebook, not as fancy. You can just say hello and we'll see you. So definitely let us know how you feel.
Hi.
And let us know how you think. Hello. What do you think about this matchup? And we'll definitely answer any questions you guys have. Right now we have Anthony attacking in with Bardock. 10,000 into Michael Chavez's Hirudegarn at 10,000. Now I have a question. Maybe I'm just seeing things. It's been a long couple of days. Why is there a battery laser sitting on the field, tapped?
Anthony going first, battering, depending on how many he plays main, but
No, he's just sitting there on the field. Tapped with Bardock. What is it there for?
that's his energy.
Oh, it's so close. I swear, I was like, is this in the combo area? Okay. Good eyes, David. That's why we have you here. Man, that looks so weird. I don't know why it looks so weird to me.
Normally, energy's, below the combo area, but, maybe we can...
Well, it's possible. Maybe maybe Anthony feels he's tight on space here. I don't know why. It just looks so weird to me. Does it not look weird for anybody else? Am I the only person that feels like that's
what?
the Anthony's energy is in a very odd place? It looks like that he was comboing with a battering laser. And I don't know. It was weird for me. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Okay, so from Twitch, so Spooperproofing, does this 2K have a top cut? Top 8? Yes, top 8 after this match. So this is 6 rounds, top 8. So we'll have 3 more matches after this, essentially, right? We'll have
correct.
Top 8, top 4, top 2. We don't know when the finals is. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be time in the finals. I'm not sure how it's going to be ran. That's up to this beautiful,
no
sexy
time,
man.
No time in Top Cut. I've always been a pretty big advocate of that. I think that's where you have the most skilled players. So you normally don't have any type of like slow playing there, and you don't have much clock manipulation there, or at least you shouldn't have. So we're going to let these guys, granted that it's reasonable, slow play will not be encouraged, like Dusty encourages it.
Yeah, on every one of my YouTube videos, absolutely.
Every single one of his YouTube videos is just insane how it encourages.
Well, that's what I like to do. I mean, I like
playing.
to, promote slow play, obviously, even though I have giant red flashing letters to say do not slow play. It doesn't matter. I still encourage it. That's what I'm all about. If every single person could get disqualified, that would be ideal.
Dusty, can you stop assuming that I know how to read?
Yes,
Because
that's true.
I really can't. I just see the pictures and they look nice.
They look pretty.
And I just listen to you talk your nonsense about slow playing.
Right. That's true. That's a good point.
All right? So just, why don't you just sit there and talk?
I mean, that's the thing, though. Sometimes you try to come up with a coherent message and it goes over people's heads. Shout out to DBS decks.
I will not have you hit me with logic and reason whatsoever. So please do not even try to throw facts at me.
Right.
I'm not trying to even
learn or understand anything. Absolutely.
open my mind to what you're trying to say. Right?
Also, you should also assume that there are no new players that need, that want any kind of. Dusty, the responsibility to your video was hilarious. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. Well, listen. As far as I am, as far as people going out of their way to have beef with me, they want the whole cow. I'm sorry, I'm not doing life at all. Anthony's at 4. Holy crap.
4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 on Miguel Chavez.
Well, you can count, but you can't read. George Machado in the house.
I mean, you got me.
No, Rick Savage, we can't. I'm turning it off.
We're definitely not playing the game.
No. Have you not watched the stream since until right now?
Switch it over to Caster Cam. Very powerful here. It looks like Anthony comboing with a double strike, trying to get Miguel down from 5
to 3, which is we call that the God
awkward.
strike.
Yes,
if you can pull that off, that 5 to 3, it's beautiful.
Miguel thought about it for about 2.5 seconds and decided, sure, I'll take it. Not a big deal. Even though he has a decent amount of combo in hand, it looks like. But the 5 to 3 is a very hard combo to get out of, because if you don't have any energy, you have no access to your 1 energy super combos, which are your unbreakables. And you're obviously at 5, so you can't activate your super combos, legally at least. You can still play them.
Absolutely.
And
yes,
just
sir.
drop them to the drop area, and then maybe you overwhelm, next level your opponent. But it's not something that you want to be doing, especially because it adds 0 combo power. But set 5... you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to go 0 energy, 10k combo, don't draw a card. I'm so excited.
Michael playing a Trunks untap and energy. That is like, oh my goodness. That makes me want to just start coughing.
That telepaths that he has no other source of blue.
Absolutely.
Now, actually, he can have a Senzu Bean. If you have a Senzu Bean in your Trunks, I think it's significantly better for you to tap the trunk. To charge his Trunks. But it shows how much pressure Miguel is under, that he cannot play a second yellow energy here. He has to play that blue, and that's where you're going to see first and second come into play a little bit here. If Miguel was going first, maybe he could have comfortably charged 2 yellow. But because he's going second, he has to put... he has to have some out here. He has to have blue open in order to defend himself and not die.
Right.
And he has to Gohan here, which is awesome. It's much better than Bardock, especially when he's at 3.
Absolutely. Now, Michael's obviously playing from behind here, so does he want to focus on killing Anthony's board and trying to retain some sort of advantage, or does he want to just go for the leader? Does he want to pressure the leader, or try to kill the leader, just be like, okay, it's my turn to go all in, can I get you before it matters, or do you try to somewhat fix the board situation first?
This is a hard trap that a lot of players fall into. Board versus leader. What do I want to get rid of? You feel overwhelmed on board. You have a lot of pressure. Your opponent might have card advantage engines, just like the Goten on board, that you really don't want them to keep having out and accumulating this card advantage and just overwhelming you with. So it's not an easy answer, Dusty. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different scenarios, and cards that you actually have in hand.
I don't ask easy questions.
No, you don't.
You know what I mean? They're going to be difficult questions. That's what we're trying to figure out. But we'll see what Michael decides to do here.
My answer almost always is it depends on the player's position and what resources they have available, maybe some tech cards that they're playing, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're playing Mass Saiyan, you don't care. You're just like, life, and then I'm going to play a Mass Saiyan and get rid of both your Gotens. If you play no Mass Saiyan, maybe a different story.
All right, here comes Sensubin to untap for Michael. Allowing him to play another Bardock if you'd like. Preferably Grandpa Gohan, I would imagine. But we'll see what he decides to do. Got to play what you got to play. You can't just pass. He's going to have to do something here. He's going to have to get some sort of board control back. Something that Michael was definitely struggling on. Now, Mr. David Fujimura in the Storm Mirror here. What do you think the most important thing to do is?
You definitely want to pressure life, because life is basically the engine of the Bardock engine. So it really, in the mirror match, it really comes down to who can pressure life the most, the fastest. And at that point, to go along with what you're saying, do you go life or board? Sometimes it comes down to what's more economical for you. Swinging your Gotens into the Hirudegarn Awakened leader when it's only 10k and you're behind on board. Is that the best thing to do, and discard some of your combos? Or maybe you just go 10 to 10 to their Gotens in play and force them to go neg.
Absolutely. Well, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's something that's actually something really important that you said that I think a lot of players might not understand is I think it's really important to realize that life in almost every game you play is a resource. But particularly in Storm, it's almost like mana acceleration, right? So, for every Bardock you can play, that is an extra Goten you can play, right? It's one you essentially gain 1 energy for every Bardock you play or Grandpa Gohan you play.
Correct. So it's basically 2 attacks
per life.
Yeah.
Super smart. I like it. Guys, remember if you have any questions at all, let us know at Pro Play Games in YouTube or at Pro Play Games Live on Twitch. Also, if you're just hanging out there on Facebook, thanks a lot for watching. We got 37 viewers on Facebook and hundreds more throughout Twitch and YouTube. I think last time we checked, we had almost we have 300 viewers on Twitch, 100 viewers on YouTube, and we'll say 50, rounded up to 50 on Facebook. So thank you guys so much for the support. That is almost 500 viewers already. We just really, really appreciate it, guys. We really, really appreciate your love, your support. Like we said before, we cannot be doing what we're doing without you guys. So thank you so much for supporting not only us, the Dragon Ball Super card game. It really, really means a lot. How many ended up coming up for the 2K? I think it was 110 was our number.
So Michael seems to be going for board here, which is probably the safer thing for him to do at this point. He's behind on life. He was behind on board. And presumably a little behind on hand, too. So he's looking to kind of build up his hand advantage to try to live this next turn from Anthony Hernandez. Turn 3 typically ends up being Hirudegarn's big turn to apply as much pressure as they can.
Absolutely. AT4U says, deck list, where can we find them later? Pro Play Games will post them probably within the end of the day or early tomorrow at the very latest. They'll have them all up and all displayed for you guys to see.
And if it isn't and it ends up being a little later, obviously apologize. There was a large amount of people yesterday in the tournament, 310. Mm-hmm. So they do have a lot of deck lists to go through. So if it does take time, apologize.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely try our best. Remember, though, everyone is traveling back either today or tomorrow, too, so that might delay it a little bit as well. All right, Michael's still taking his 2 energy turn here. Quite a long turn here for 2 energy, and here comes out Scientist Fu. Going to draw him 2 cards. We'll see if he decides to attack Anthony here. It's possible he just decides to let it go away, but I feel like an attack is almost for surely imminent.
Yeah, Turn 2, turn 2s can get pretty out of hand for Hirudegarn as well, especially if they awaken.
Yeah, it's important to realize that Hirudegarn has not awakened yet. So Michael hasn't awakened yet. Anthony has, but Michael hasn't. So he gets to untap 2 energy. So he still has 2 energy to play with here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge deal.
Which means he can keep it on.
Keep it on. I don't think we've seen Flute from Michael yet either. So it is possible that he can bounce this Goten and continue out. All right, Unbreakable on the Scientist Foo here, going up to 35K. Oh, he has fluted? Okay. Yeah, I don't see it. His drop area is off out to the side there. It was because it's in his warp off the Scientist Foo. So.
Yeah, next to the planet.
Oh, there's the Minosha. Gets to draw 3. PBG events are solid. Absolutely. We have a great time here at PBG events. They're always a lot of fun. Gabriel Alonso does a fantastic job as judge.
It's just an overall pleasant tournament experience.
Yeah. Yeah, you came straight from California. What did you think?
It was my probably best experience with Dragon Ball Super Tournament so far.
Oh, well, I'm glad you had a good time, man. Well, it's like one little, like, you know what I mean? Thank you, buddy. Kind of, we hung out a lot, you know? So that's awesome. I always like hanging out with you. I really need to talk with a PPG representative. How can I go about that? George walked away because he went to do PPG things, but I would assume, you know, you could, if you stay in chat here for a little bit, you can talk to him, but otherwise you can always message, you know, on Facebook, go to PPG Event Management and send them a message, and they read that always.
Yeah.
Any info on who's commentating Nats? I think the only person they've announced so far is myself. I'll be hosting Nats, so I'll be doing all the Nats commentating and player interviews and Bandit interviews and that kind of thing. I think Jim announced that in like a post later last week or something. But I'm not sure if there'll be anybody else or what else will go on. Nothing has been really officially announced yet. So,
do we know what the Set 5 secret is? Set 5 secret is still undisclosed. That usually comes out the week before release, if they feel like it. Sometimes they haven't. And SPRs, there's in this set, there's an SPR for every SR.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
I believe how they have it, it's one case has one of every SPR, so that's 11 total, and one secret.
George Machado, what's up, my man? In chat, like, what the heck's going on?
It's chat inception.
Chat inception. I was going to answer a question that I saw pop up, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, PPG should come back to Richmond. Remember, guys, you can vote where you want the Pro Play Tour to go. All you have to do is visit ppgeventmanagement.com. And on that homepage, you just scroll down, and there's a poll. You can vote as many times, or you can vote for as many cities as you want. Just tell PPG where you want it to go.
All right, and looks like Anthony Hernandez is making a huge play here. He's
going in for.
It looks like he's going in for.
I don't think it's double. I think it's a single here.
It might be single or double, but he really wants to put Michael in range of. I'm assuming a mirror.
Mirror combo.
A mirror with either double strike here or a single strike if the leader is double strike.
I'm pretty see there's 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55, 60. So 75K. 15 off the leader, so 75K.
And
80.
This is single.
85. Yeah. This is pretty telling for Michael. This is pretty much saying, I'm coming in, I'm setting up for mirror double strike. So defend this. Michael's tapped out, so he's not able to negate Mira. So this is a perfect chance to for Anthony to swing in with the Mira. Now, as a little rule for thumb, you never want to tap yourself out of blue going into your opponent's turn when they can play Mira, and that's exactly what Michael has done. Now, he might have a little trick up his sleeve. I can't really imagine what that trick might be, but we'll see. So this is going to be infinite. It's infinite plus double strike.
9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 5.
Yeah, I heard. Table Judge just holds 155k double strike. Pretty manageable. He could probably just use a couple stupid combos to get right out of that. But we'll see. It is possible. I mean, he is playing Hirudegarn, and it's possible. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume not having energy for 10Ks is gonna be pretty hard for Michael to come out of this.
Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, tapping out is going to be a little rough for Michael here, but so 10, 20, 30, 35. 45.
That's gonna be game.
Couldn't get there. Now, Michael did show Anthony his hand to show that I can't beat it. He did show Anthony a bad ring laser, which is important. I'm sure Anthony assumes that Michael does have a battery laser, but now it's confirmed he does have it. So that's going to be something I'm sure Anthony will pick up one and play around. It's better. 12-20. I hope DBS Dad plays Hernandez in top 8. Tell you what, we might be able to make a little magic work. We might be able to set something up. Maybe get them to play a little show match for you guys. I've heard tells roaming around that that's a possibility. I'm looking at him right now. He's kind of shaking his head yes. So it's very possible.
Yeah, very possible.
Very possible. We're hoping we can get him to do that. If not, he just means he hates you guys. So that's why he would. Only reason I can think of he would say no, right?
Yeah. I mean, if Anthony wins his fundraiser, looks like.
Yeah, true. Mr. Gabriel Alonso looking a little frazzled.
300 players was yesterday. Today we had a little bit over 110. So this is a top 8 today. And yesterday it was no top cut at all. It was just Swiss, just like all the Dragon Ball Super Regionals for the national qualifiers have been. Anthony versus Peter money match. That would be epic.
That would be epic.
All right, so both players opening blue. I think they're both trying to play a little defensive, holding on to beans to mitigate as much.
Anthony's playing for his unbanning.
They can get.
Free him. We should just. That's what ARG should do. They should just like make a tower. A 5 or 6 level tower, and Anthony has to play through the tower and fight progressively harder foes. At the very top, he has to play against like Jim McMahon with like extremely handicapped, like
he starts 3 turns behind.
He starts 3 turns behind. He can only have 10 cards in his hand at any time. Every time he draws a card, he has to roll a dice. If it lands on a 6, he takes a life. Just stack them up, and if he can get through that, then he gets unbanned. Tower Pain. Okay, look at the top 3. See what Michael decides to take here. Senzu Bean looking pretty good, and he does take it. I like that. Senzu Bean seems pretty important in this matchup. Allows you to extend your turn, which is very important, but also allows you to defend yourself from the onslaught of Gotens that is inevitably going to come at your face.
Yes.
So that's probably where it'll be used here. So we'll see what Michael decides to do. Hopefully he learned his lesson from last game and doesn't tap out going into his opponent's kill turn. Looking at Michael's hand last game, I think if he just wouldn't have tapped out, I think he had a good chance of actually pulling that game out.
Yeah.
He had 4 super combos, and it was looking good.
It's hard. This deck, playing the mirror match is it's a very fast-paced debacle.
Absolutely.
Anthony, pretty peculiar. Just charge blue pass. Just wants to represent that beam as soon as possible. Well, at least Michael's not charging the Trunks this game.
Right. That's important because that Trunks is terrific. To be honest, you think about it. Last game, if he wouldn't have charged the Trunks was in his hand, he could have used it to untap the blue.
Yeah.
So, shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's what I always say.
George, can you take a look at the deck lists? Let's take a look at some sideboards.
All right, so Anthony charging a Sun Goten, actually, that is actually something that's pretty unique. I don't know why you would really charge a Sun Goten. I feel like there has to be much better options, even like you see on Michael's side, that he has a Bardock Cape on there.
So looking at Michael's sideboard, he has, looks like some of his options. He definitely has a 4th Nimbus that'll probably come in. He has he's also has 2 Banisher Foods and 2 Mass Sand, so maybe he's looking to tech in one of those to deal with some of Anthony's board. And Anthony's sideboard contains almost the same. He does have he does noticeably play 4 Nimbus in the side, and 2 Time Ruler Toas. So
Michael actually choosing to keep negates in the main board. We'll see if Anthony actually sided in his own copies of negates as well.
Seems pretty important in this matchup, negates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, negates are actually pretty good.
yeah.
We'll
You don't
see
want
if
too many
Anthony
of them,
actually
but I
put
think you want
exactly. That's why it's difficult. It's just Nimbus seems really good, but then you got to keep an energy up. That means you are not going all in on your turns for the most part. It slows down the game a little bit more. You're always playing with 1 less energy essentially.
It seems like wouldn't Roshi be better than a negate in this? I mean, I understand that Whi's version is very good, but obviously keeping a yellow up is very tough. But it seems like Roshi would allow you to negate the Mira and still have a card out for comboing.
What I remember from the past format with 4 flutes, you almost always needed the Nimbus if you were going second.
Sure.
If you were going second, because turn 2 was always a big turn and turn 3 was a big turn. So if going second you could live through those turns, then you could definitely come back from the deficit of going second.
Sure. Yeah.
It is an interesting play. Did Michael bean his Goten?
It looks like he did.
Well, I think Michael just doesn't want this Goten to die. He thinks it's important. Maybe he feels like he'll fall too far behind without it.
Maybe he doesn't have another Goten.
Right. That's very possible.
Beating the Goten makes attacking into it for Anthony Hernandez not as appealing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you one thing, though. This is really important. Every time I see my opponent want to save a battle card when I attack into it, I always try to think like,
I wanna
wow.
kill it.
Yeah, it's like
So
I really want to.
really
I really want it to not be
Play
worth
Banisher
it.
Food,
Yeah.
kill it. Ha!
Yeah, so maybe
you
Michael
get.
knows that. Maybe Michael's trying to set up a trap, for Anthony, where he's like, yeah, I really want to protect this card. Keep attacking into it. Keep wasting your combos. Keep wasting your time attacking into this Goten. I really need you to, not kill it. Please don't. He's essentially turned into like a little mini Vegeta.
Yeah.
Or Vegito, I mean. Oh, I'm sorry. What's up with life on screen is that I'm in charge now. Whenever used to, it was our stream manager who ditched us, so I forgot. So that's my fault. I'll take responsibility, and we'll fix it.
That just proves how useless Dusty actually is.
Yeah, I'm actually not. I mean, I don't really do anything, if we're being honest. sorry, Christian. I got that fixed. They don't update. They do. Whenever there's somebody more competent here. But it's just me. They don't update sometimes.
Sometimes when we get into the game, it's just like, yeah, I'm still very, very confused about the bean on the Goten.
46764. Thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate you showing the support and love to Pro Play Games. They really deserve it. And thank you for becoming a sub. No, you're not critical at all, man. I was just explaining myself. It's George's fault. Nice. Mass Sand comes out and eliminates that Goten that Michael has worked so hard to protect.
Wow, you got to be feeling really bad because not only did you go from 5 to 3, but now you got a Mass Sand that got rid of your ever so precious Goten.
Yeah, but also you're not too upset about that too. I mean,
No, I'm really upset right now.
Anthony didn't get full value out of that Mass Sand, right? He lost 3 energy. So he could have maybe held off for that Mass Sand maybe one more turn. But
No. If I see my opponent defending the battle card, just like you said, it's the best time to get rid of it.
I don't know. I'm greedy though. I don't like to play a card and just get a little bit of value out
Half
of it.
value.
I want to play a card and just get
No, same.
as much value as like I want to get the 10 for 10 value out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the.
So Anthony taking Michael down to 3 from 5, just like last game. Maybe we'll have a repeat of Anthony's strategy.
I ping pong one. How big does this game have to get for its own Twitch category? Your guess is as good as mine. We've worked on it. I've sent them. I don't know. I've sent them maybe 6 or 7. There for a while. I was doing it every month. I don't know. I'm not sure why it's not working. So.
I've seen so many Dragon Ball categories too, and
Yeah.
like some of them I've never heard about. Like,
Yep.
what is Super Dragon Ball Z? What is that? Is that like knockoff Dragon Ball Super? I don't
Right.
get it.
We see Utris and Chess says double sleeve in main deck in DBS is allowed because I know it's not in Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, here's the kicker. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh, my friend. It's Dragon Ball Super, and in this game, it's allowed. You're allowed to double sleeve your deck, as it turns out. Yeah, you can even triple sleeve your deck if you want.
I'm actually a huge fan. I strongly encourage double sleeving. Super cool.
Like double sleeving how? Like with your like cards or like?
Like double sleeving cards, yeah.
Yeah, so like okay, because like well, I mean, the reason why I asked, I mean that sounds stupid, but because some people sleeve their sleeves. Like they have like
Oh,
nice
I'm sorry.
sleeves, like Anthony.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
sleeve-
no,
yeah.
that,
That's-
like that. Yeah,
that's
that's
double
double
sleeving.
sleeving. That's a form of double sleeving.
Yeah, well, I mean, double sleeving to me is you sleeve the inner card. You sleeve the card before you put it in the sleeve. Triple sleeving to me is you sleeve the sleeve. But I don't know. I mean, I guess technically either one of them are double sleeving.
Yes, yeah, both of them are double sleeves. Yeah, one uses a perfect fit and then a standard size sleeve, and the other one uses a standard size sleeve and an oversleeve. And I'm a fan of the standard size sleeve into the oversleeve, which is much like Anthony is using right now. Artwork sleeves usually do have the peeling essence, so that's why you have to
Right.
protect
Okay.
them.
Sure. But yeah, as far as I know, there's no limit to how many times you can sleeve the card in the DBS card game, though, right? Like, there's no like.
There's probably,
Well, I mean, you can't come in with
really?
like 12 sleeves, right? Like,
I mean, you
Ziploc
can't
bag
fit
around
12.
them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most that you can
Hot glue
actually
'em
fit
and stuff.
How
is go
rad
perfect
would it-
fit standard size and then oversleeve over that. I don't think there's a sleeve that fits an oversize. There might be.
I beg to differ. You
Buckle your
could,
swash.
put
Where
your
was
cards
the voting
in-
for PPG event locations? Great question. Just go to ppgeventmanagement.com. I'll link it in chat for you. And you can just go there, scroll down on the main page, and you can see it there. It's really, really important that you vote for the any amount of cities you want to see the Pro Play Tour visit, so that way they know where to go for their events.
So once upon a time, putting your deck in top loaders was a thing.
Top loaders, man.
The whole deck in top loader.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll post it here on Twitch too for you guys. Yeah, Richmond is not on the list. Correct. But there are plenty of events near near Virginia. Plenty of events. Pittsburgh, Maryland.
All right.
Do the Pro Play Tour in France. Oh, we would love to. That would be amazing.
So it looks like Anthony tried to go in with that mass sand, and Michael comboed out.
Sacramento or Anaheim, California. I guess Los Angeles would be the closest one for you guys.
Yeah.
I used to live almost right beside Anaheim, and Los Angeles was like, I don't know, 45 minutes away from me, so it should be. Anaheim is even closer, right? So it's like, what, 30 minutes or so, maybe? Maybe a little bit more, I don't know.
Nice. You got your demo deck. Fantastic way to start the Dragon Ball Super card game. Free.
Nice.
You can definitely ask Bandai or write them an email. And, usually, I don't know how the system works, but they'll send you a demo deck. Any local game stores will carry the demo deck, 100%. We brought some demo decks today to the regional, and we sold. Yeah, well, they took them all. We had 0 left,
20 minutes
and like 20 minutes into the event, everybody took them. Like, oh my god, demo decks! I haven't gotten these yet, or my local game shop hasn't gotten them yet. So we gave out a bunch of those. Wish we would brought more, but we had like 50 or so. That's all we had.
Absolutely. Come to Cincinnati. We would love to. I mean, but I think on the list we have Columbus.
Yeah,
But just vote for Ohio.
Yeah,
That's the best thing you can do. Vote for Ohio. We'll look at it. We'll see. If Ohio gets a ton of votes, then we'll go, well, maybe we'll have 2 there. You know, who knows? But the idea is we're trying our best. You know, we can't put every city on the poll, guys. It would be like, you know, I don't know how many cities there are in America, but I would imagine there's a little bit more than 10 or so. So,
billion.
yeah. Welcome, Mr. Danny Hype, to the Facebook viewing experience. Thank you so much. All 50 of you, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Danny, did you go to? He went to the regional, right?
He did, yeah. He went
What
to
happened?
the. I think he got 8th, and then
he got 8th,
yeah,
yeah.
and then Anthony Mikulev got 1st.
Didn't they play out top 8 at that event?
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah,
So he
I
lost in
think they
top
had
eight,
top.
sad
I think they
face.
maybe had top 16. Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, I think
No,
it was
he-
top 16 from what I
I think
heard.
top 16 because I think
Yeah.
Zoot Hair got like top 16, but and then
I think they only played out top 8, but yeah, they Zoo Hair got
okay.
16.
Yeah, maybe yeah. Well, the good news is the man himself is in chat that can answer that question for us.
I think Mike said 2. 2 like now.
Yeah, Mike is at 2.
Oh,
Get this.
All right, Michael down to 2.
Anthony's still at 4 here, and he has a lot of pressure on board. It's not looking very good for Michael.
It is not. I'll tell you a card I haven't seen utilized very much in Storm this week is the Bardock combo card. I haven't seen hardly anyone upgrade to Bardock.
Yeah.
And the card seems pretty sweet in the mirror
It
match,
is, it
you know?
You mean to go into the grade 8?
Yeah.
Michael's actually a really big fan of it. I know he was.
Yeah, he has one charge, his energy.
Yeah.
He also still runs Planet Vegeta,
Yeah.
and he just used it. So that's. All right, Michael's swinging in here.
Trying to get in there with that fat double striker, only to get denied.
Yeah,
The
with
Flying Nimbus. No discard on Anthony's part because Michael could only really attack one more time if he really wanted to. So smart.
But
smart
Michael
play
does
by
have
Anthony.
Planet Vegeta out, so that attack is free essentially.
Yeah.
You know, he
he's
still
gonna
gets
get
the
that Bardock
blocker.
game back.
All right.
Michael looking the flute. The Goku.
Michael's actually thinking about it. He's like, this is something that I might
Flute
do.
to flute to Goten?
The Goten, yeah.
He fluted Anthony's Goku, the 2-drop.
The 2-drop 5K. That 15K, not 5K. 15K. Can attack pretty much.
Okay, Anthony attacking with Goten here. Gonna look at the top 3.
Michael's got to be careful here. This is the turn that Anthony is going to want to look to kill his opponent. So he's got to be very careful, tread carefully. He knows that Anthony does play Mira, so he really can't afford to be left without a negate here. But it looks like he does have a blocker, so at least he can throw that beast in front of Mira if he really gets caught off guard, because he's not representing any type of negate right now. Unless he brought out Whis Coercions from the main board, from the sideboard, which I don't think. Does he play any in the sideboard? Doesn't look like.
Whis? No, just
No Whis.
just Nimbus and Crusher Balls on both sides.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like Anthony is coming in hard right here.
Yeah. He's
Actually,
trying to go
20K.
through.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he's using his super combos now though, because he's trying to put together everything that he needs to close out the game.
Well, luckily, Massan does not kill the ape because it is a blocker. So that's pretty good for Michael. All right, 25K, and Michael's going to block.
Michael blocks here because he knows that there's no Mira incoming this turn. So he's going to go ahead and use his block there
All right.
on the first double striker, even though Anthony can still have a double strike Choppo along with a bunch of untapped cards.
Anthony at 2 life. All right, here comes in Bardock. Michael with the bad ring laser in hand. Whew, talking about a card that will save you on defense.
Michael down to 1.
1 life, and I think the card he drew kind of sucked. I'm trying to see though. Draws the card.
Oh, that's a good one off the river.
I can't imagine there being any combination of cards that
That was
Michael
another
can
card
have
off
in
the
his
top.
hand, plus a bad ring that's going to let him survive this hit. But
Yeah. Just going to play it out.
is it 2 bad rings in his hand? No, and a
Crusher Ball.
bad ring and a
Wow,
crusher ball.
that
Two of
has to feel bad.
the best cards to help you out of a combo war here.
You know, they definitely help you rewind the game state and actually tap the card before you actually play it. So
Oh, Anthony trying to combo with a flute here.
And that's going to be the end of the game.
Yeah, that looks like a game.
Pretty sure they're just talking over plays.
Oh, what's up, Vince? Welcome to the Facebook chat, man. Good to have you here. We are very tired, sir. We are very tired. We had a heck of a day yesterday, 9 rounds. We were here from, 7 in the morning until almost midnight.
yeah, no, it's crazy.